Hey guys, it's Maddie from Let's Eat Plants, and today we are trying chickpea tofu. A combination of spring cleaning and being stuck at home has finally given me the inspiration and time to clean out my pantry. I have accumulated quite a few pantry supplies since my husband and I moved to Canada about 2 years ago, and not gonna lie, I haven't actually cleaned out my pantries since then. So there are a few items that have just moved to the back of the pantry and have been forgotten about. So that was the inspiration behind today's recipe, hidden pantry chickpea flour. Now I have used chickpea flour before. I've used it to make chickpea flour crepes, and I also sometimes mix it in with my Vital Wheat gluten when I'm making seitan, but I don't really find it's an everyday staple for me. So this little Tupperware, of course, got lost in the back of my pantry, and I just found it and realized, hey, I should make something with this. Chickpea flour is really good because it is high in protein, but I find it's just not very commonly used, and that's why I forgot about it. A recipe that I've always wanted to try using chickpea flour is something called Burmese tofu, which is essentially just chickpea flour made into tofu. And I found this recipe on deliciouseveryday.com. I love that name, by the way, such a great name. And it's just a really basic chickpea tofu recipe. The main ingredients are chickpea flour and water. And then of course you can also add a little bit of salt and or turmeric for color. And that's pretty much it. I think you could even put in some other spices or seasonings to kind of jazz it up a bit, but I did want to try the basic version today. And once I get the base recipe down, then I can try and modify it. If you're not familiar with chickpea flour, here's what it looks like up close. It kind of just looks like any other flour, but it does have a little bit of a yellowish tint to it. Since I have cooked with chickpea flour before, I can tell you that the taste of uncooked chickpea flour and even the smell is not very pleasant. It kind of smells like mung beans, but really strongly like mung beans. And if you taste it or you accidentally get an uncooked piece, it is not nice. It is quite bitter and it should be avoided. So that's my tip for chickpea flour. Make sure you cook it thoroughly. Okay, so let me just first walk you through the steps of making the chickpea tofu. 1 cup chickpea flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon turmeric. Whisk those together. Meanwhile, boil 1.5 cups water on the stove. Then add 1.5 cups water and whisk it again until smooth. Reduce your heat to medium-high and whisk in your chickpea flour mixture. Keep whisking for around 8 minutes. Yes, your hand might get tired, but you want to make sure it's fully cooked and no clumps form. Mine became thick right away, but I just continued to whisk it for another 8 minutes. Yes, my hand got very tired. Pour your mixture into a parchment-lined pan and let it rest for about 1 hour. I let mine cool down for a couple hours and then I put it in the fridge overnight. So like I said, my chickpea tofu has just been sitting in the fridge overnight, and I'm going to try it one time first, just plain like this, and then I'm gonna cut it into cubes and try frying it and see if it tastes any different when it's cooked more like you would cook a regular tofu. Not really much smell. Okay. I'm still getting a little bit of the mung bean flavor. I'm not even super sensitive to flavors, but that's interesting. I'm definitely gonna need to fry this up and see if it tastes differently. Okay, so let's chop this up into cubes or strips or something and just do a little pan fry. Legit, it looks like egg, like scrambled egg. This is kind of crazy. It's interesting. It didn't really get crispy per se. I mean, it's still like soft and squishy in the middle, but it did get brown on all the edges. So I guess that's good. I cannot get over how much it resembles an egg consistency. Like the color and texture and everything just looks so much like scrambled eggs. It's crazy. So I'm interested to see if this one that I have cooked now tastes any different. This consistency is so unusual. It got really soft and gooey in the middle once it heated up, to the point where now the inside consistency is like a melted cheese. I'm not even kidding. What is with this? This is so crazy. But right now, the bland flavor could use a little jazzing up. I mean, I've eaten pretty much all my pieces, so it can't be that bad. Okay, final thoughts. It's interesting. That is the best word I can use to describe Burmese tofu. But I wouldn't say it's a total fail. This is definitely edible, and like I said, it's pretty healthy, so I'm just gonna throw it into some stir fries and kind of eat it because I have it. But I'm thinking with better seasoning, this could actually be okay. If you're interested in the chickpea flour crepe recipe, I will link that right here so you can check that out. Or if you have a recipe that uses chickpea flour, please let me know in a comment down below because I would love to find some new inspiration to use up the last of my chickpea flour. Have you tried it before? What do you use it for? What do you think of chickpea flour? I would love to know. And with that, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you guys next time. Bye.